Jon Anik on the Anik Florian Podcast revealed that Tony Ferguson called him a little in the fighter meetings at UFC 256.
Tony was extremely testy with me in our fighter meeting, not at all happy with whatever I might have said on a broadcast or in a public forum. Tony and I have always had a great relationship. Ray, would you feel less bad for Tony if I told you he called me a little in our fighter meeting? Would you feel less bad?
Did he really?
He did call me a little bitch, but that's okay. I've always had a great relationship with Tony, and as Kenny knows acutely, I am so conditioned now, show in and show out, to putting out fires with some coach or some fighter. This one personally was a little bit upsetting to me because I hold Tony in the highest regard, and I feel like I've kind of championed his cause more than most fighters. Like, I feel like I have promoted the hell out of him and his cause, so I don't know exactly what he was upset with.
With Mark Hunt set to face Paul Gallen in a boxing match, at the weigh-ins he threw punches at his opponent. Earlier today was revealed that Romero has signed a multi-fight deal with Bellator MMA. His longtime friend Jorge Masvidal reacted to the news and posted this on his Twitter saying, "Congrats at Bellator MMA, you just got a monster, #super necessary." Conor McGregor recently saved a gym from closing down by donating some much needed funds. SBG Portaling posted this on their Instagram, and in the caption they wrote, "From the lowest of the low to the highest of the high. We are not closing. Our teammate and friend at the Notorious MMA has decided to help us out and keep the gym running. We will be eternally grateful. To everyone that messaged and got in touch with us to show your support, thank you all so much. See you all on the mats." Conor McGregor responded in the comment section saying, "Let's go SBG Portlington." A 3-round light heavyweight bout between Khalil Rountree Junior versus Marcin Prachnio has been targeted for UFC 257. Khalil Rountree Junior is coming off a TKO loss to Ion Cutelaba, and Marcin Prachnio is coming off a KO loss to Mike Rodriguez. Max Holloway, in a recent interview with Brett Okamoto, reflects on his second loss to Alexander Volkanovski.
It is what it was. Me personally, I don't really think that it matters if I won the fight. I don't think that it matters. What matters most to me is how most people think. Dana White doesn't call me up after the fight and be like, "Hey kid, did you think you won the fight?" that this doesn't happen. It doesn't matter what I think. But the UFC, you guys, the world, they can see 80 to 90% of the world thinks I won, and that's what matters to them, and that's what mattered to me. I guess whatever job you have, at the end of the day, what do you care about is when you gotta ask yourself. You care about the money, you care about the company, but what else? When it comes to mine, for me, is you care about respect. And respect from your peers, right? You work at ESPN. If everyone at ESPN, Brett, didn't like you, would you still want to work there? Probably not. You know what I mean? Probably not, So after the fight, I could see my peers and what they was saying. And they was sticking their necks out for me, These aren't fans. These aren't fans. This is fighters, Brett. This is actual other fighters. It's Jorge, it's Nate, it's Dustin, Justin, the list goes on. Even Ali and the Kawais, all these guys, it's crazy. All these guys cannot agree on what color the sky is.
Yeah.
But they agreed on one thing that night. You know what I mean? We got George St. Pierre for us. George St. Pierre's coach saying it. Big John, everybody know, Big John's a referee. He's not only a referee. This dude, he made the rules. He has classes for judges. This is the man. You know what I mean? He has classes for these judges to take to make the rules. And he thought I won the fight. And of course, Dana White said what he said. So with all that being said, you know what I mean? It's hard for me to be mad. It is what it was. You move on. It's like spilled milk. You know what I mean? If you spill your milk, you're not going to try and put it back into the carton of milk. You're going to mop that and move on, and that's what we plan on doing.
For those who are asking, 1 week after, almost brand new, buddy. Call me Wolverine.
What's going on, Gio?
This is going
Is DC being a diva?
I'll take this, but it needs to be.
DC, you've changed, bro. You've changed, bro. What is going on?
He's complaining his coffee's not hot enough. And he's calling you big time.
Oh my God.
You were not the diva today.
Yes. What do you mean today?
Early in my career. Hey, Jimmy. Yep, and hold it. It's a lot smaller, man. This thing feels small.
We're just in the smaller cage, and we're just, admiring how much smaller it actually is. All right, boy. Whoa!
Chael Sonnen on the Believe in Me podcast gives his thoughts on why Bellator didn't sign Anderson Silva.
Sure. Well, Scott Coker talked about this, so I'll just summarize what he said. But he said there was a time when, I used to take some of the cast-offs. I think he called them OGs. And he said, but now I just have such a young crop I spent so long on that now they're getting star power. So we're able to do it internally. I will tell you my own personal opinion, but guys, this all dates back to Tito Ortiz versus Chuck Liddell. When that happened, that was such a disaster of bringing these older athletes in or bringing them back. And it just gave such a bad look that a lot of promoters got very scared. If your number is over 40, they started to look and push back. When you combine over 40 with a UFC cast-off, I think Coker just said, man, I'm going to try a better way to do this.
Cub Swanson at the FC 256 post-fight press conference speaks on having self-doubt in himself leading up to his fight with Daniel Pineda.
This journey is crazy. It's a roller coaster for all of us. And sometimes you're full of confidence and sometimes you're not. I had that 4-fight losing streak really, made it difficult for me. I basically decided to, mentally be a part-time fighter and a part-time dad, realistically full-time of each. But I wanted to do that at this point in my life and I wanted to take that on. So when I had that little bit of a losing streak during that, it was like just trying to make sure I was on the right track and going, okay, or are you just done? Are you just not that good anymore? Or is it really you just, got to figure it out? And I just felt deep down I needed to figure it out. And, I feel like these last 2 fights, even though they're far apart, I've really showed that I've made improvements. I'm still one of the best, and I know people still enjoy watching me fight, and I still love doing it. Well, I told myself, being injured was like a blessing in disguise because I had to really think about all the things that made me great as a fighter, and kind of get back to that. And I was able to rediscover some things that really helped me. And one of the things was just the mental side of it, that I needed to not, whenever you have like a rush of like emotion about a fight coming up and you get those nerves, instead of saying, oh, I'll deal with it later, like push it, like stuff it down, it comes out right before you walk out for your fight. So this time I said, I'm going to take it as it comes. And this week, it was coming at me pretty strong. Last night this morning I woke up at about 4 a.m. And I was just in sweats, like cold sweats for like 2 hours trying to go back to sleep. Just nervous, just like damn, you're gonna do this, like come on. And I was like, okay, and I just decided to deal with it at that moment. And it was crazy because I expected it to continue all the way till right before the fight, but right before the fight is one of the calmest I've ever been. And I think because I dealt with it as it came, it became easier.